Hey there, and welcome back to the authored challenges of Inkbound, the roguelike action strategy game by Shiny Shoe. We're on the author challenges. I just introed that, and I did have to tell you what, we're getting into some really weird ones. The author challenge we have today is very bizarre. I've been thinking about it a lot, and I honestly can't, for the life of me, tell you which aspect makes the most sense for it. Today we're going to be doing lists challenge. So, okay, we'll start off. Let me just read this to you so you understand what's happening. After each book, vestiges are destroyed and you gain their sets. That's usually going to be a big downside. Getting the sets is nice if you have throwaways, but in most cases, this is bad because you want your vestiges. Now, there's a lot of questions I have about how this behaves that I can't answer because I've never done this before, but like, for instance, when does it specifically do this? Does this do this when I finish a combat? So when I beat the boss, does it do it when I activate the inkwell? Does it do it in between, right? Does it go when I go into my new book? Like, when does this happen? Because there are possibilities that I could drop vestiges and then pick them back up afterwards if I really want them. And in most cases, even though, and I'll get to it later, there's a penalty for each vestige you have equipped, most of the time you want your vestiges. They're very strong. So the sets are good, but sometimes, like for instance, the burn set is heavily reliant on having burn applications from your vestiges. So losing that, you're like, well, I'm not actually able to apply enough burn to justify molten, right? Anyway, it gets crazier. Second modifier, when using a vestige harvester, increase a random equipped set by 1 and decrease a random equipped set by 1. Absolute chaos. This is like vestige harvesters I skip at this point. Basically, I think this does not seem helpful because I don't want to decrease a random 1 by 1. I'm specifically salvaging in order to get the ones I want. Now, the other question is, do I still get the benefit of the harvester in the first place? So the grinder, basically. Do I get the +2 from the grinder and then this happens? Because that's not as bad. If it's replacing the effect, however, that's terrible and I never want to use a grinder. You can see how this one might require some prior experience because it doesn't explain exactly how it behaves correctly. If I take it at face value, my expectation is that the grinder will work as intended and then also have this additional effect, but I don't know. We'll see. The next modifier, after winning a combat, increase a random equipped set by 1. Okay, that's a pure positive. That's strong, I'll say. That's good, right? We can definitely use that to build up some lists of things. So that's cool. And then you have take the final one, which is a pure negative, take 10% bonus damage for each vestige equipped. So you get hurt more depending on how many you have. Now, that's a punishment for using vestiges, but at the same time you still want to, in my opinion. A great example of this is the Storm King set for smiting, right? You're reliant in most cases on your vestiges in order to smite. Only one class, I think, has the ability to smite in skill. Obviously, Invocation is a binding that exists. You could use that, but that's once every however often you can activate it, and is, fine, but also a pretty underperforming set, in my opinion, unless you have Storm King. So it's tough. There's a lot of sets that I don't think are very good in the absence of vestiges. The other question really is just how much can I game this, right? My initial thought is you could use this to get a lot of sets very high, take Forgery Forge, and then just buy all the sets, all the vestiges you want from the final shops maybe. The other thing I have to ask myself is, does it consider the switch from the villain to the Unbound a new book? Because then it would destroy my vestiges and the Unbound suddenly gets really difficult. I don't know. Maybe. Hard to say. I think mechanically a book is very specific. A book is the concept book 1, book 2, and then So after book 1 or after book 2, this happens, and then the villain plus Unbound would be one like sequence essentially. So that's my expectation, assuming they actually follow their own language, which I can't promise. So my thought is then Forgery Forge should be very strong here because I can save, I can cash out at the last one, build up a very powerful combo for the villain, and as long as I can live the early books, we should be okay. So that's sort of my plan. The other thing is that it's just bizarre enough that I'm not actually certain if we want to, what we want to do, right? Oh, and I forgot to mention something to consider. Where is it? Look at this. After winning a combat, increase a random equipped set by 1. The first combat, you're not going to have a grinder, right? You don't have a set. So that it pushes me just a little bit towards maybe starting with like the Blaze of Brigid, or the Talons of Sin, or the Essence of Quillian, the Sanguinity of Wit. You know, these ones that give you starting sets, right? So that is a cool one. There's also the possibility we go Boon of the Gods Court for Storm King. I don't actually think this is very good, but if you have Invocation and you're automatically leveling up Storm King like this, you potentially could turn Invocation pretty strong. So it's something to consider. I actually do kind of like this. The problem, of course, is I think you pretty much have to play the Godkeeper for this, right? I mean, you'd take this, and then immediately you would go on here and you'd be like, all right, well, I'm playing Godkeeper because I absolutely need smites from my bindings, or else the Storm King angle is not good. So that's something to consider. I'm going to actually fix this because I accidentally equipped God's Court for the Clairvoyant, which I happen to have on. I don't think Clairvoyant makes a lot of sense here. I don't think it doesn't make sense, but it also, right? Think about all of the sets that it doesn't synergize with naturally. It doesn't have poison or burn or anything. If I was going to pick a magically inclined like character here, it would definitely be the Weaver, because the Weaver can bake in burns, right? We have Rope Burn and just Incendiary Constrict in general. So this would be I think this is a fine pick. Now, I do kind of like this option with Boon of the Gods Court on Godkeeper. Maybe that's pretty good. So I think I don't want to spend too much time thinking about this. I do like Forgery Forge a lot, and I think you can make it work, but I also kind of want to pick a set that immediately benefits from the first combat. And I don't know, I've struggled in the rank 20 gameplay of actually winning with Boon of the Gods Court. I don't think it's very good, particularly because I don't think Invocation is very good, so it'd be kind of nice to get a win with it. So, heck, why not? Let's do it. I think we'll give it a try. You can probably approach this from a whole bunch of different ways, however. This is a very, very bizarre authored challenge, and I honestly don't know what to predict. So, but that's it. As always, do like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Let's click the button and see what the heck this does. I'm interested in figuring this particular setup out. Alright, hopefully this isn't too bad. Boon of the Gods Court. This is going to be interesting. Lys's challenge. Alright, let's go. Now, is there any particular inclination one way or the other here? I don't think it really matters where we go. I don't think I fight Argalath all that often, so sure, let's go fight Argalath. There's nothing here that makes me feel like Argalath's a bad call. The only thing is, I mean, I can't get the challenge modifier here. Yeah, let's go fight this Squid Man. It's fine, right? It's fine. It's just rank 1 modifiers. We'll go to the Vengewood, I'm pretty sure, not the Radiant Market. I don't think it matters too much at this difficulty. We're fine. Yeah. Okay. Now, of course, we're also going to be looking for some kind of a defensive binding as we do this, so something always to keep in mind. Now, it's going to consume these, or when does it consume these? After each book, it automatically does it, but I can also grind it, and it does a flip. Okay, well, that's interesting. After teleporting to the spear, gain 2 shield. Probably pretty good. I'm going to take the one that gives me a little bit of defense here. I could take Vicious Impale. It's actually a pretty decent play. It's good offense early game, but I don't think I want to lean that way yet. Take the more generalized option. So certainly an option for me to just take damage here. This is fine as well. We could grind this up, and then we end up on Striker doing fun things. I don't think Fabled helps us here. Sure, I'll take the Powder Monkey stockpile. It's fine. Now, we can just take Tarnished Vaults, I guess. They're all going to salvage. I think the Harvester is not bad. We'll have to try it out. As long as it behaves the way I think it does, I'm happy to take Tarnished Vaults here, and we don't have to farm cash. But I am a little interested in how this behaves, so... we end up with a Disintegration Oil, so that's interesting. Now, fortunately, we should get the Storm King popped up here, right? So I can throw the spear, I can jump to it, kill a guy. We roll a crit early on, which is pretty neat. I think we can come close to just killing here, right? Yeah, we can push this out pretty much. The combats themselves are pretty straightforward. I think we just finish this guy. We should end up... oh. Interesting. Equipped set. So it boosted Striker even though I didn't have the first set bonus. I wasn't expecting that. Interesting. Got it. Let me see Invocation. I didn't see a good defensive option there along there, but that's fine. So equipped set. With an equipped set requirement, it's like, what do I want here? I think, interesting. So you can use this to prop up sets that you're not really going to do much with. So like, I should take Survivor Bonsai here, and then salvage this. We get Striker 4. Maybe. I guess it could reduce and increase. And then we get potentially Verdant growing, which would be excellent. We want to have the Verdant on this, I think. Very interesting. I can take the Silenced Metronome here. I don't think that's bad to add. Just like a Storm King edition. And I think we will take Invocation. After Image is fine, I suppose, as a defensive binding, but I'm going to just grab the Invocation here. I'm not impressed by the alternatives. We're going to go try what the Grinder does. See what that Grinder do. So... now, I think the salvage here is Survivor Bonsai. This item is actually not very good normally. So we just crank it and see what happens. Okay, so we salvaged. We lost a Striker, but we gained a Verdant. That seems good, right? That seems good to me. I think we're going to be a little reliant on looking for globes here. I need to make sure I can find things that potentially benefit me in a variety of ways so I can re-roll. Especially to find a defensive binding to complement Invocation. So, like, Big Quilling Cage versus the Quilling Cage, I don't really see a reason not to take some of these things. So, we should be strong enough here, right? We have a whole lot of sets that are already paying out. So let's go for big money here. I think that's fair. Go for big cash. See what we roll into. This shouldn't be too bad. I can be a little more aggro here than I normally would. Okay, now fortunately that smite did just immediately murk that guy, which is great news. I'm going to go ahead and Invocation. We're going to jump and smite and smite. We can do a lot of damage right away by smiting everything, taking the orb, clearing out these two enemies. Great, so we get a lot of money, we get the glyph, that's great news. We do a lot of damage here, clearing out two of the big guys as well, which is nice. The smite is good. I'm going to go ahead and toss the spear here. We jump to it. We should be able to smite out the entire floor, or crit it at least. We're good. Okay, great. Yep, end of turn, have my will. Fantastic. This should be essentially free. Yeah, our smites are in good state because we have Storm King 3 already, so I don't have to do anything too fancy to get out of this combat. Great news. We get a free Storm King buff from that. Great. Honestly, great. Blink. A lot of defensive stuff I'm not happy with. I'll take the Braided Acacia here. That's pretty good, in my opinion. The earlier you can get to Verdant 8, the better. So let's go for that. I'm going to reroll for some defense play here. I don't want Pilfer, Blink, or Jinx on this one. Is Cultivate good enough? It's slow and reliant on a specific ascension to be properly defensive. I'm going to reroll that and see if we can do better. Quicken, discharge. Discharge is also pretty bad. Reroll again. Restoration. Alright, spent 3 glyphs, but we got there. Now I do need to, then, with 0 glyphs remaining, I need to hunt the Glyph Globe Elite Combat, so I can still go to the Unbound. So, don't let me forget that. Okay, we're going to grind here, I think. I don't really want the Braided Acacia, I don't believe. I mean, that's not a bad call. I could go Silenced Metronome and get up to Storm King 5. I'll give it a try. Sure. We'll go ahead and grind out the Silenced Metronome, I think. Storm King 5? I don't know. I actually kind of like... That's a lot of damage, plus the Marked. What's coming up? I'm not going to use this right away, I don't think, actually. Verdant 5 doesn't change things too terribly much. It makes me do a lot more damage, but I don't think it's mission critical, right? It's not like I'm missing permanent scaling. And I think we do enough damage as is. If I can get to Verdant 8, that's great. Like, for instance, if something is going to... Interesting, I could actually drop the stockpile, grind Acacia here. Right, it reduced Striker by 1. This is something I wanted to watch for, because it wouldn't have reduced it from 5, I don't think. Maybe it would have, I don't know. Anyway, we end up on Verdant 6, and we get the Striker 4 back, so I'm pretty happy with that. There is still no globe option. I'll take Big Quilling Cage, I guess. And an uncommon augment, sure. Hopefully they give me a glyph option at some point. I guess I could potentially not roll into it, and then we're really out of luck. I'm going to save that potion. Not going to grab it for now. Sure. Okay. Alright, first order of business, I do need to jump and smite that man, so I can power up orb, and then huge smite here, crushing everything. Great. Feels good. I haven't taken any damage, so I kind of don't need to worry too much about this stuff. I can just clear out the floor. Sure, I'll chill. I didn't actually need that will. I thought something was alive, but I guess not. We're gonna jump, smite, take Invocation, and I'll blast this floor out. We should be able to clear it, all things told. Very cool. A lot of money. I get an uncommon. Whoa. We just rolled 2 rares here. Chained Invocation, Divine Touch smites an additional time on hitting. Yeah, okay, that's great. I want that. Yep, 100%. 1000%. We end up... Verdant Sprout is excellent here, because this can potentially put me into a Vigorous line, which synergizes extremely well with Verdant 8. So I want that, and I don't think I need Survivor Bonsai Mark II. Great. Excellent rolls. Cool, so I've already used the grinder behind me. That's accurate. Yes, I did. So let's open the next room, then grab this potion, because it won't disappear when we do it like that. Grinder is great. Cool. I don't think we have much of a choice. We're going to lose it. I'm pretty sure we're not actually going to make it to the Inkbound based on this. We didn't see an option for it, so the glyphs I had to play out. I guess there was some sort of a risk on that, right? Because they didn't show me a glyph option as the elites, and then we go to the final shop, and it's like, all right, well, I can't go to the Unbound now. That's okay. It's not that upsetting, I suppose. I do miss the combat, but... Anyway, let's go Verdant in, see what we roll. Alright, we do lose a Verdant from that, so something to keep in mind. There's a fish here. Ugh. Unaffordable. Bummer. Well, it's a rip. I am going to take... I'm going to buy another Verdant Sprout, just so I can reach... Yeah, this is good. Purchase that real quick. We're quite strong, actually. I think we've managed to pull this off in a nice way. I'm going to eat this fish. Just chow down real quick. bit bummer about that Unbound key. Nothing offered me the Glyph Globes as a reward option. I thought it was guaranteed. I'll be honest, I thought it was guaranteed. And with that in mind, now that I know, okay. Now, a reminder, however, that everything I have gets ground up at the end of the book. So there's really little value in trying to like reroll for good stuff here. Basically, all I'm going to say is just make sure that the things I have are worth having, right? There's very little addition. There's no reason for me to grab this stuff, right? So I think we just hang out. There's like, what else am I going to look for here? Another Storm King would be cool, I suppose. And more vigorous would be cool, I suppose. But we're already on Verdant 8, which is powerful. So, cool. I think we're fine, right? I don't have anything else to really add here. I think we just kind of hang out and we're okay with that. Sure. All right. I'm actually bummed out about the Unbound situation. That's, you know what? That's the nature of author challenges, I guess. Sure. Fair enough, right? Wow, that's a lot of damage. Just simply smite everything. And that's a lot of damage to just randomly add. I like that. Yes, good. Okay. Well, I almost phased on turn 1. That's pretty decent. Stab this guy. Grab the orb. I'm going to take this. We do get the spear smite. That adds a lot of damage. I can actually just phase here. Sure, I actually take a little bit of damage, but I'm going to just let it ride because I can heal it off with Restoration. Great. A heal. Reminder that I probably should be mashing the heal button because of Verdant 8, right? Something to keep in mind. I could potentially farm out a lot of health here. It's something I should consider. Maybe. It might be worth it. I take a lot of damage, so... Like, yeah, you do this, the stab is good. I can take the binding here, I can move. I can just... I don't really want to take 11 damage for no reason. So let's just hang out and not push this too hard, I think. I'll take 4. That's actually fine, because that gives me my vigor. Good. Thank you, Bomb. Very cool. Stab some guys here. It's good. Take this orb. Walk away. We heal, and that's pretty decent. I could do... I'm going to grab the... Put the orb down, at least. And then jump at him. This is acceptable. I'll take this 11. I think we can use this opportunity to generate some max health, right? Which I think is valuable. Yeah, let's move here and blast him. Then we'll take this orb, walk away, and take 0 on the turn. We already are missing health. I think this is fine. We're kind of greeting here, is the way I should describe this, right? We're not really doing as much as I think we could. Like, I can win this combat right now, actually, and I'm not going to, because I do want to try to get max health if possible. Great. You see how we're pushing these numbers up. It's worth it, right? Taking 0 for the turn. We're going to just chill here. I'm basically just greeting a little bit, and I'm okay with that. Grab this orb. I can walk away a decent distance. Sure, I'm actually going to take the orb here and then walk away, so I can use that shielding and take a little less damage. That's fine. Vigor is your friend. Grab this orb. We're going to self-heal. I'm going to throw a spear at the 2 guys over there, and we're going to jump and move. Take 0 here. I actually... Do I need to take damage here? I do need to take damage here. It seems weird, but I need to take damage so I get the vigor, so I get the proc. Right? So then I just stab here, and we should be up at 70, which is a big boost. I think that's enough right now. I'm just going to end this combat. just finish it out. It's fine. Cool. Okay, we get the full heal. Fine. Doing excellent. Excellent. I mean, Stormcaller is pretty much ideal here. I don't really have any notes. I don't have to re-roll. Not that I could anyway. We'll take it. Fantastic. Target gains. All of these are good. 1 blur, 1 velocity on Elusive Whirlwind. That's really good defense. I also really like Resistant on the Restoration. Big fan. I think I'm just going to take Elusive Whirlwind because it's up more often. I like that. Now, unfortunately, see ya later, my friend, the Unbound, but that's okay. It'll have to do. It's a real bummer. I thought it was guaranteed that you would get a glyph, but that's, I guess, something I get to learn. All right, time to watch when these vanish. Now. They vanish right now. So that means there's no easy way of gaming this. You have to hold on to them. So, good to know. That also means these grinders are just straight up useless, which is kind of weird, but okay. I wasn't sure how they would do it, but there you go, I guess. Garden's Edge? Sure, why not? None of these really matter all that much. We should be way ahead, right? We have Verdant 8. Verdant 8 is a really good position. I have 73 max health, so we're chillin', I think. We're doing a lot of bonus attack damage, and our smites are strong, so good stuff. Double rare augments, hard to say no. We'll always take a look at that. We should have no problems winning here. This actually works out in our favor because all the stuff we have are things that very easily can be... are things that super can be benefited from, right? I can easily take advantage of smites or attack binding, physical damage, etc. Now, an interesting consideration, how much should I farm here, right? It's an interesting question. I don't actually know the answer to that. Blast one of these guys. I'm going to go ahead and shoot another guy out, I think. It's interesting. I could smite here. I'm just going to take a hit, I think. Well, let's actually... Well, I don't actually know. I think I'm just going to take a hit and chill. I would like to see if I can gain max hit points in a beneficial way. So here we can just go Invocation, and this is going to just smite out basically everything. And now we're super ahead. So I do need to... I'm full health, right? 74. Great, I can actually use Restoration next turn. So we're going to camp a little bit here. Not too much. I don't want to waste time, but I do want to... You know, I do want to increase the chance that I'm able to get out of this. Great. Take some shield. Fine. Good. Okay, he stabs me. Good. I get Vigor. I can stab him once and heal it off. I'm at not full health. Not full health yet. Great. So I'm just going to hang out, hit end turn. This will tick down. I take the orb, which lets me heal. Great job. Do I just take this damage? Probably. Sure, just take this. I'm not threatened by 6 here. Now, unfortunately, I do have to stab him, which I'm going to do, which ends the combat, but I don't feel... I'm not mad about that. I'll just murder him here. That's fine. Get the Vigor proc. Cool. 86 is no problem. These are all great. Restore 5 bonus health on Amplified Restoration is very powerful, pushing that up to 9. But I actually think smiting the nearest enemy with Smiting Impale is almost certainly correct. Those ones aren't great. I think I'm going to take Smite the nearest enemy. I'm pretty pleased with that. Death Scythe is, I mean, basically disgusting, right? It's basically overpowered here, I think. I normally think I might actually grab Storm King, the Pulsar Belt, but, well, the thing is I'm not actually going to benefit from Death Scythe, right? Because this goes away at the end of the book. I'll just take Pulsar Belt. Wow, alright, fair enough. Skipped the really good one, I guess. Gain 1 shield per secondary enemy hit. I guess I should take this. We're fighting Argalath, right? It should be easy. I guess Argalath is the end of our run as well, which is kind of an interesting situation. The Grinder... Yeah, I guess I could grind that up. I kind of don't want to mess with any of my other sets, though. So I think I'm just going to take the Garden. Sure, I'll take the garden, I think. Just kind of cruise from this position, take some cash, look at the vestige, see what we roll, right? Frida's mistake. That's a pretty good one. We end up on... This is a decent one. We end up on Ancient Wisdom. There's really not a lot I want to add from this position, right? These are all, like, we have some Bastion, some other things. Oh, hey, look, finally our Glyph Globe. I'm going to go for that one. Lame. Lame that we don't get the chance to do that in Book 1. That's a lesson learned. I've never had that problem in rank 20, because in rank 20, you pretty much never reroll and you take defensive, and it's not like you're adapting to a weird authored challenge, so... Anyway, I'm going to blow this combat up, I think. Seems good, huh? This guy changes direction on kill, so I just move like this, and we're super fine. I could farm out here, right? But at the same time, I kind of just was like, alright, let's just end that combat pretty quickly. Seems good to me. Let's go ahead and heal here. It's good. I'm going to go ahead and... Hecka Smite, I think. I don't even have to really play that hard about it. Work on this guy over here. We're going to jump, stab him a couple times. Not going to take that orb. Save it for next turn. I think he slams now, based on his AI. So, should be not too bad, I don't think. Yeah, he's slamming. I don't really care. I'm going to take Power Orb 1. We're going to go ahead and hit Invocation here. We do 1 billion damage to whatever we decide to fight, so I think I'm going to send most of these enemies to the Shadow Realm. Seems good. And then we're going to... He redirects on kill, so I should be cautious about that, right? Let's go ahead and just throw it at a distance. Now I can stab here and walk out. Now, I haven't taken any damage, so I actually think I should take this hit, and I will. It's only 5. That gets me Vigor, which, more importantly, I can heal up here. Great. We're at 90. You can tell that, by the way, Verdant, I mean, this is 10% bonus damage every single time I cross a 10s threshold here, so... Do I want to take 11 here? Not terribly, I suppose. I think I'm just going to end this combat. Just end that. Don't want to think about it too much. Sure. Quilling Cage, great. Glyph Globe. We're pretty far ahead on a lot of this. What is this? Gain 2 stacks of Divine Storm. Augments that affect Divine Touch also affect Divine Storm. Divine Storm smites all enemies. Sure. Seems good to me. Finally found a combat or a run where this works out. Melting Spout. Verdant Blossom. The thing about these is I don't really want these, right? Vigorous going up is a good thing. The free healing triggers Verdant. It's very strong. I don't want to take too much stuff, though. Let's actually spin that. And oh, okay. Refractory is pretty good. This is... Man, it's a bummer I'm giving this up, right? I actually think the right pick, as annoying as it is Frida's mistake. Because Refractory, despite this being incredible, goes away at the end of the book, and I don't need this to win the book, right? So I would rather pick the one that plays nice and also gets me Ancient Wisdom closer to 4. That's crazy. I don't think I want to mess around with a grinder here, right? Just to maybe get Ancient Wisdom up a little more. It's tricky, but I think we're okay as is. Let's take the Sea Breach then. I'm gonna eat this fish, and you can't stop me. I've done it. What is this Sea Breach? Duplicate a vestige, or I can permanently punish myself for a legendary vestige, or I can take the obvious correct choice when I have Verdant 5, which is just take 10 max HP. Cool. That's very strong. That's just 10% bonus damage. See, I guess they rolled double Glyph Globes in Book 2, which is not normal, instead of putting one in Book 1. Interesting. Well, I don't need that many glyphs now. I guess I'll look at double rare augments again. There's no reason not to. So sure, we're quite strong at the moment. It's a bit of a bummer I don't get to go pummel the Unbound here, but I suppose it'll have to just be okay. I could farm out a lot here, but I also kind of just want to end these combats, right? Just like Shadow Realm everything here. It's pretty good, as it turns out, right? I'm just going to take this hit, actually. That seems decent. That way I gain vigor, and also I can do other things, which is nice. Just shoot, stab. Great. Finish that guy out. I'm going to finish this other guy out, too. I'm going to take the orb, I guess, and then do I take 7 damage? Is there any reason to? No, I'm already 5 down, so it doesn't matter. I'm just going to walk away then. And save the healing for next turn, because then I can use this to proc Verdant 8. Great job. Take the orb now. Actually, I'm just going to go ahead and Mega Smite here. And then we'll just throw some stuff, end some guys. Stab. Orb. Walk away. I'm taking 0, but I'm down 1 health, so that works out perfectly. Sure does. Alright, now, how do I approach this turn? Just kill these guys, take this orb. Now, I am 1 health down, but I haven't been able to heal yet. I could finish this very easily with a combination of Stormblessed plus everything else. I'm going to work a little bit on it just to save a little bit of health, but I'm actually not pressed about this, right? Yeah, that's fine. I'll take the Vigor play. You want to just take another hit? Honestly, sure. Like, actually fine. And then we just go ahead and proc this here. We go to 111. That seems decent. Now we'll end this combat. Great job. Not terribly worried about it. I'm down, what, like 20 out of 100 and something health. We're okay. I do not want Curios. Not a chance. We're up on Ancient Wisdom 4 now, by the way, which is great. On turn start, gain full cost discount. I mean, honestly, I think I would normally take Marking Spear here, but I have never taken Prepared Invocation. So sure, let's grab it. Fine. Use this as an opportunity to do the thing. Smiting Whirlwind. Smite far enemies. Sure, honestly, great. More smites, more better. I don't want to take random sets that are not helpful here, is the thing. So let's re-roll this and reconsider. Heavenly Eclipse. It's okay, right? It's not bad. I'm going to spin it again. That's fine. Harbinger's Trophy. Unearthed Relic seems pretty decent here. I'll grab that. It puts me on Shadow, but I'm not mad about it. I'm going to go ahead and go to this grinder now. I think I've been avoiding the risk here, but I think we can actually grind up this fella here. What did that do to me? It put me down on Vigorous 4 from Vigorous 5. I had enough stuff that I wasn't as worried about going over, but this worked out pretty well, right? That was a pretty decent pickup. We end up Shadow 2. I don't care about this damage at all. We are fine. This is free Omni power at this point, so cool. It's good, as it turns out. Now, anything I buy here does get immediately converted after the run, but also I don't kind of care. I'm going to take the rare augment. There's no reason not to. Yeah, Mighty Invocation plus 50 smite damage. Seems decent. We'll take that real fast. That's big. Smite damage is at 250 right now, which is pretty good, actually. The Omni damage does help smite damage as well. It's part of the reason I wanted to lean into Shadow there. It also maxes out Bastion, which I appreciate, so we should have no issues crushing this, right? Just absolutely sending it. Yeah, cool. It's good. It's good to do it. Big damage. Great work. Go team. I'm going to heal myself so I get the buff. I might as well. I have some empty spots. I'm going to stab the enemy, and then we'll take the orb and just simply walk away. I could gain Vigor in exchange for, what, 14 damage? That does not seem like a good trade, does it? Should I respect the boss? Nah. I have enough health I can sacrifice plenty if I want to. It should be okay. Let's just absolutely send it here. Huzzah. Great. I'm going to jump, teleport, move, and take only this 8. It's fine with me. I actually think getting some vigor here will be helpful. Neat. Fine. I could have, you know, barrier potioned it or something. It's fine. I heal. It's good. I'm going to phase here, I think, and we're going to call it on that one walk, and the next turn I'm going to use the restoration. Great. How much damage am I being threatened by here? 14. Honestly, I'm not terribly mad about it. I think I'm going to spear and then walk and take 14 and be okay with it. It's weird to take 14, but you have to understand I'm okay taking that damage, and I want the Vigor proc so I can get more max HP. I'm not going to mess around with the Chompy turn. We're just going to absolutely send him. Great. Let's do a stab here, right? I appreciate doing a stab, and then we move and we take this 10. Again, this is fine. This is just a Vigor proc here, which is excellent. I could phase on this one. There's no real reason to. I'm going to stab him at least for the healing and then walk away. We'll use Restoration next turn in order to proc the healing. I wonder if we don't have... I'm generating shield, but I wonder if I should worry about Shadow potentially triggers Vigor as well, which is an interesting option. I'm going to go ahead and Storm Blast here and then just do an absolute send it. I think we could end this combat right here if we wanted to. Instead, I'm not going to. Yeah, we finish him very easily if I have the desire, but I do not. I'm going to attempt now to just take another hit and try to get a proc of Vigor in. Okay, yeah, stab him. Gets a proc of Vigor in. I can take this orb and next orb next turn. Alright, we should be okay to get one last proc here and get over the 130 mark, which is pretty much optimal. Great job. 130 it is. And yeah, and then we just completely end it with Divine Storm. Just blast them. Great. Excellent job. Okay, we got +1 Shadow there. Not mad about that at all. Seems good. We get a Restore 100%, so it's fine. Skirmisher's Impale costing 0 is pretty good. Applying Marked is okay. I'm going to reroll Greater Restoration here. I don't really feel like going in on that. Yeah, here we go. The selectable spear now inflicts up to 3 smite per turn if it's in the ground. Cool. That seems fun. Great job. More smiting. Excellent. All of my smite stuff will be consumed here, and that's going to be okay. I'm going to go ahead and reroll. No, I'm not going to reroll. I'll take Skirmisher's Impale here. Making it free is almost certainly awesome. Cool. We just move on. All of these go away. I think we're in pretty good state, if I'm being honest with you. Now, unfortunately, we don't get to fight the Unbound, so I don't get to see how this really behaves in the end. I was a little curious about it, but that's okay. I think we'll at least have gotten through this. I feel pretty decent that Godkeeper was a decent pick here, so let's just not mess around, honestly. Let's jump, smite it, and then just end this turn immediately. Great job. There's no reason to waste time and effort on this one, right? Let's just completely blast him. Great, finish that guy, finish that guy. Cool, we did it. I'm at full health already. Neat. Do I benefit from this? Huh, wow, that works. I sometimes forget that some things work, some things don't. So, cool, I did a great job. Lightning! 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 Awesome. I'm actually going to take 2 damage here. I might as well, right? Sure, bud. Get me. Oh no, I took damage. Whatever am I going to do? I'm just gonna take 3 damage here. I said I wasn't gonna farm. Am I gonna farm? Sure. Hey, bud. You're almost dead. You need to not die, okay? Don't die, buddy. Alright, I need to stab you in order to get healed. Look at that, we did it. Alright, 144. Excellent job. Okay, cool. Now, my question really comes down to... I hold on to these for the end game, right? So, any booster I get here is pretty solid, right? Interesting. That's a lot of legendaries to just roll into. Wow. Smite enemies twice is pretty great. Sure. I like it. The Mirror Spire. We don't have teleport bindings, so it doesn't actually do anything for us. It is interesting that it showed up, however. Ink Tap, defeating an enemy, gain 1 will, is pretty awesome. T for 2 also just automatically succeeds at a whole bunch of stuff, so that's pretty cool. We have a lot of money. I also don't really care if I take 10% bonus damage here. We're actually quite strong as is, so it doesn't really matter to me. What's my crit damage? 50? 20% of my crit damage is what, 20? No, it's 10. That's actually really bad. Unfortunately, Boon of a Patron is terrible here. I'll reroll, I guess. Sure. Prime Essentium. Whatever. It's fine. Refractory is strong enough that I want it. Yeah. Just a true statement. That is a strong enough vestige that I do want it. Yes. Now, I'm going to grab T for 2 here instead of these legendaries because T for 2 is awesome. And I'm probably going to just sacrifice Shocking Core Cap here. I can grind it, right? And the thing is, I'm not afraid of losing Storm King from this, so we're fine. And if I do lose Verdant, I think I can offset it. Alright, good. What did I drop there? I think I actually dropped a Shadow. Yes, interesting. Okay. We have max on all the things that really matter, so I think we're golden. There's no reason to take this other vestige. If the vestige is not crazy strong, there's no reason to have it. I mean, we're going to win the author challenge. I think we're fine here. We just kind of move on and chill. Unfortunately, no Unbound, but I don't think Argalath stands any real chance here, so it is what it is, I suppose. I guess I'm just going to Shadow Realm this combat, right? Like, there's no reason not to just go completely bananas here. Yeah, take the orb, great. And then completely phase shift immediately. And then what, walk away and take 2 damage and it's fine? Sure, seems good to me. Cool. Oh no, I took damage. It's fine, right? Not really worried about it. It's a lot of incoming damage, I'll be honest with you. Let me tell you what, Argalath is a lot harder than every other boss, and there's really no reason for him to be. Right? It's like, why is he so difficult? It's a great question, actually. Unclear. This is a good play. Absolutely crush here. Take this orb. Can work on a couple of these guys. I get a lot of damage for free, which is cool. Great. I take a little bit of damage here. I have a trillion hit points, though, so I don't actually care. I'll go ahead and teleport, smiting him out. I think we come pretty close to... Yeah, we come pretty close to doing absolute bonkers stuff here. I would like to... Yeah, double smite here is going to be alright. We'll take it. I'm going to save Divine Storm for the time being, I think. Push numbers here. Taking only 5. Storm is going to be my proc for my immediate pick for phase change, so... Alright, we should be absolutely able to just send it here. Right? And then I can jump over there. Okay, we actually already phase here, which is cool. So, we're good. I'm just going to chill, I think. Take the 9, I don't really care. And then he's going to summon a whole bunch of stuff. He's like, rah, phase change. Okay, great job, buddy. Excellent work. I was prepared for this. And then we just go Storm Smite and completely, absolutely eviscerate the world. Here, what if I toss in a Disintegration Oil here? You know? Pretty good, right? Pretty decent, actually. Take this Orb for funsies. See, seems good. Take this Orb for funsies as well. And then I can, what? Teleport, smiting that. And then I can do it again, I guess. Teleport, smiting that. We almost insta-give him, and he deals 0 damage to me. That seems fair. Anyway, I'm going to finish this combat with a nice little Stormcaller. Just end that real fast. Woo! Alright, we got it. So this is, I mean, this would look similar. Unfortunately, no Unbound here, but I think it demonstrates the strategy, which is actually Godkeeper's really good here. So is starting with a bonus on your set, which is awesome. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, this is one of the rare instances where I think Boon of the Gods Court really shined. I think, especially with Godkeeper, the important thing is that I'm able to generate a good chunk of smites without doing anything fancy, right? Obviously, Invocation does something, but, you know, Stormcaller exists. It has Smiting Whirlwind. There's a lot of elements there. God of Lightning exists. Also, the Spear already gives you a smite, which is guaranteed value, so there's that as well. And I picked up Smiting Spear, smiting enemies twice. Fantastic. There's Smite on the Impale. It's just, it enables it in a very powerful way. So if all you end up with is your 8 Storm King and just your base kit, you're doing pretty well. I also think leaning into Verdant was a really good strategy here. Seeing that early Survivor Bonsai enabled us to really get this rolling. Our max hit points were something like 150 at the end. That's a, what? It's what, 10% bonus damage for each 10 hit points? So 150% bonus damage for free is awesome. And you're that durable. You can just tank on hit points if you're ever worried about it. Oh no, 20 damage. That's like not even, that's under 20% of my max hit points. It's fine. We're okay. And we can heal ourselves thanks to Vigor. So pretty secure, honestly. There were multiple turns I was freely taking damage just to trigger the Vigor procs. So it's kind of an interesting one, but a little chaotic, I agree. But it actually, I think the net it's positive, right? I feel like I ended up with way more sets maxed out than I normally do, which puts you quite far ahead in the overall scheme of the combats. So I felt quite strong here. And yeah, and then saving just a little bit of cash to go crazy at the end. Picking up real Refractory T for 2. These are huge wins at the end there. So just great sustain, great damage. Feels good. I'm happy to trade 10% damage taken for each of these. No problem. And yeah, not much else to add. Pretty straightforward. So I guess I'll let you go there. So hey, thanks a lot for watching this. I really appreciate your time. As always, let me know if you like the video. Give it a like if you want. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. And stay tuned for what's next. I will say, for the next one, I'll make sure to be more careful about the Unbound situation. I'm not going to redo this video over that, obviously. So, you know, that's unfortunate, but fine. Okay. I think anyone watching this can easily tell that this video obliterates every other element of the run if we had an Unbound in it. I'm not worried about it. In fact, it's probably stronger because you get the cool elite upgrades in the middle of the book 2. So, fine. TIL, that you're not guaranteed to see an elite combat in book 1 that gives glyphs. That is news to me. Anyway, yeah, take care, y'all. Have a good one.